What is up, guys, and welcome back to the Sweat It Out podcast. Today, we have two very special guests. You've probably have heard of one of them where you listened to our last podcast. He is a CEO of Prince Marketing Group, best-selling author of Aiming High, public speaker and entrepreneur, featured on CNN, ESPN, and US Today. This man is the one and only Darren Prince. And on the other side...
Thank you for the intro.
We got you.
But that's not really why I'm here.
And on the other side...
Just amazing human. That's why I'm here.
Oh, here comes the dog.
Here we go. Drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. We have
music.
this special guest over here. She has been the TV host of the Golf Channel, Fox Sports. She is still a current amazing TV host, model, entrepreneur, the one and only Holly Sonders. How's it going,
Thank
guys?
you. Thank you guys for having us.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. We've been excited since we booked this. It's great to have you guys on.
Yeah, especially both at the same time, which always makes
Thank
it
you.
funner.
I know. I think this is the first time we've done two on one
Zoom.
Zoom.
We've had two in live, but never on Zoom. So
Well, Darren is so skinny now that like we're able to both fit in the same. Most people can't fit together. There's no other man in the world I can fit in the same frame with, but he's so tiny now.
Calls me our anorexic agent.
I'm so jealous of his weight loss.
That's great. That's great. So, how's everything been going for you, Holly? Since the whole pandemic hit, I'm sure things. Obviously, sports stopped, so you had to transition your business a little bit. I'm sure. So, kind of, how's it been going for you over the past really year now, almost? And how things have been going there.
So I never thought that sports would ever get canceled. I remember sitting at the Waldorf in LA and like the Big East tournament kind of came to a stop. They canceled it at halftime, and I was like, "What's going on?" And then I'm like, "This will go away. This will go away." My boyfriend at the time, I'm like, "Let's just go to Mexico for a minute. This will pass." Okay, no, March Madness gets canceled, and then baseball, MLB gets pushed back. NFL might not be happening, and I'm like, "Wow, okay." And here we are. So sidelines, you are supposed to stand. If you weren't already laid off or furloughed, you're supposed to stand 30 feet away from the coach that you're interviewing. And that's just, I was kind of over it before then. And you add that into it, and it's like, it's time to make a change. So, I did that for 10 years, and I was kind of tired of having the boss tell me, cut your hair, wear this, wear that, say this, say that. Be smart, don't be too smart, ask these questions, and then get out of the way. After 10 years, people think it's a dream job, but then after 10 years, it kind of wears on you. You want to be your own boss. So just kind of started up a business on my own and website on my own, and it's killing. Like, I'm killing it. And hooked up with Darren, who's got my brand streamlined, and we're heading in the right direction. So I'm really lucky to have him.
that's awesome. No, that's truly awesome to hear. And I think we can all agree that during COVID, it's made a lot of people just realize, like, you're more than capable of doing certain things without having to be tied down to something else. And I think it's really tested the characters of many individuals and also our abilities to go out there and do things, to actually do the things we've wanted to do without feeling the pressure of like, man, no, I can't do this on my own. I'm not capable enough. No, you are capable enough. Sometimes it takes moments like these in life, big traumas to actually wake our asses up, to actually get them, moving. And then again, we find other individuals, like you found, you're linked up with Darren, he linked up with you, and people find each other along the way to be able to start creating success together with people who have their different missions and goals, but can make it work together by finding the right people and aligning with them. And I think that's truly amazing. Yeah,
if you have a cell phone and you have like a voice and you have a set of balls basically, and you just pick that up and call different people and try to figure out a business on your own, and you're not afraid to hear no, or you're not afraid to fail 1, 2, 3 a couple times, especially during this, and you find a way to buy the Bitcoin, and you find a way to do the things that you need to do so the next time this happens, another pandemic or whatever it is, the world shuts down, you're all set. I think you're right, it was a complete wake-up call. Don't you agree?
100%. I think a lot of people just caught up in the hype of all the negativity and all the news. And me, I've always been that type of person, especially at the last time we spoke 12 and a half years ago when I had my own spiritual awakening, the hell of my opiate addiction. Adversity in life for all of us, I think it really reveals ourselves, our true selves. And, a lot of my friends and business associates feel down and in that space, pull back, because I think it's about surround yourself with successful people, surround yourself with people that are smarter and more talented. Stop with all the wasted time on Zoom rooms where you have people that you look up to, where you're looking at time with your friends, and it's not going to get you anywhere. You really have the opportunity right now, if you're listening, to create the best personal and professional version of yourself. There's no other reason to explain why Prince Marketing Group has had the best work we've ever had. I got off the phone with Magic Johnson an hour ago.
It's awesome.
Him and his legal team are so blown away that when this gift came into my life a few months ago, I could do this in my sleep, because I saw what was coming. And I've always been big on, bring the challenge. Because when business and things in your personal life are going great, like, what do we really learn about ourselves, right?
Yeah, not a whole lot.
You're right.
Yeah, it's so easy to be like, oh, this is wonderful. I have all this money and I feel great. No. You want to deal with the losses. You want to deal with those big L's, because those big L's is going to make you into who you want to be today. Embrace the losses, take those chances, take those risks. You're going to come out on the other side.
You said something amazing there. You said take on that challenge, and I think so many people nowadays, we're getting some that are, and you see the results, what they're getting, but a lot of people are scared to take challenges on. And I would love to get your both opinion. Why do you think it is that so many people are scared to take on or embrace challenge in their life?
Oh, I see it firsthand all the time. Well, especially the people, where I used to work at the network, they have kids that are in college and stuff like that. Like, they need their contract to get renewed. So they're going to do all the things that the boss needs them to do. It's easier when you don't have children or you don't have a spouse to kind of put yourself out there. Don't you agree? Like, you don't have
100%.
people to support. So he and I are fortunate in that respect. And, and we've also had some relationships that have, they could have come better. It's probably us some of the time. But anyhow, we don't have people to care for, and it's easier to take a risk when it's just you, looking out for you. But right now, I don't think there's a lot of people who have a choice. They're on unemployment. Why not open up your phone and try to do something with your time while you're sitting on your ass all day? Yep. There's nothing to lose right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we've said it a couple times on the podcast already, but this whole thing started because we were sitting on our ass and just like talking to each other over the phone. We're like, why are we not just recording this?
Hey,
like,
guys are blowing up.
Yeah. It's like, why didn't we thought about it 2 years ago and we never got to it because we always put other things in front of it, and literally sitting on our phones, just bullshitting with each other. Like, man, we could just do this on the podcast. It'd be so much better, and the rest has been history. What are some of the big challenges or some of the things that you maybe didn't see coming once we all realized that COVID was here and maybe we're going to be locked inside, sports weren't happening for a while? What were some of those initial challenges that you found when you were starting out with your business, with your website, and what you have going on now with all of the content creation, Holly?
Well, every time you take a different path in life, there are haters and there are doubters, and there are people saying, what are you doing? You're supposed to be a broadcaster. You're supposed to be doing this and wearing this, and this is how you're supposed to act. And again, like I said, you have to have a big set of balls just to be able to say, I know me, I will bet on myself. And there were a bunch of girls, once COVID started, I live in Las Vegas, and there were a bunch of like cocktail waitresses and different people who were out of work. So they started just basically what they were posting on Instagram, they would post behind a paywall. And so I'm like, okay, this is March. And this is just going to be a month or two, and people are going to get tired of looking at that, and they're going to go on to somebody else. Well, they kept making that consistently. They're making 6 figures a month. And I'm like, they're going all in. Like, they're going all in with group photo shoots. They're all going to Tulum or Mexico or whatever's open. And they're working their asses off, getting different content, and people keep paying. So one of my good friends named Ava Fiore, Cleats and Cleavage, she's been doing huge social media presence for about 10 years. Does sports in a bikini.
Yeah, she's great. I've seen some of her stuff before.
She's
it's awesome.
She's one of my best friends. And she hooked up with a web creator, web designer, and I talked to her. She said she made $180,000 the first month. And
Insane.
I'm like, wow, okay, great. But
like real money. Real money.
But yeah, I checked in with her the next 5-6 months because I'm like, this isn't going to be a real thing. Checked in with her every month, and it went to 210, then to 160, then back to 180 every single month. She bought up 14 properties. Lives in Lubbock, Texas. Bought up 14 properties at Texas Tech. Right. So she set up her kids like college fund, everything. Yeah. She rents out those places. Like, she bought a ton of Bitcoin. She's just doing really, really, really well. And so again, there are girls who blow all that money, and there are people who invest
Yep.
it. And
Yep.
she's like, I could run for mayor of Lubbock right now. This is how well I'm doing.
You said it.
She has it to be powerful.
Yep, you said it best. Some people decide to blow it. Some people decide to invest it. And I think that's one of the biggest problems is people make some money and they don't even know what to do with it. You know, It's like, where do I put it now?
40K table out live down here.
Here
Right.
in Miami,
Yeah.
in Miami, forget about it. But it's
Gotta
very
get
true.
Dom. Where's if it? I didn't make any money if there's no Dom Perignon being sprayed everywhere.
Right.
You know.
But what I learned is like what I worked so hard for over the past 10 years is to build a fan base. Like, and those are the real fans that want to get to know you better. Because on Instagram, it's just like, maybe you'll respond to their comment. These people are dying to, especially during COVID. And it's like, everybody's sitting at home and like, they want to come over. And my chat messages are like, guys that are sending me pictures of them. They're in a cubicle 9 to 5. Like guys who just love golf and they're not creepy. They're like people who just they're like real fans. And I've been really lucky the amount of money that I've made and the the kind of content that I've put out. And I also use it on my Instagram is like, I have a photographer. Actually, I have 4 photographers, one that I work with every single week. We put out like the highest quality kind of content. And that's fun for me because for me, that's art.
And
You gotta love what you do.
I didn't tell you how our first month went. It was a little bit slow on the website.
I made $272,000 the first month.
I mean, I would take a slow month like that. You want? Yeah.
Slow?
I don't look like you, but I don't know. You know.
Oh,
Right.
man.
And none of it is porn, like people on OnlyFans, which
Yeah.
I'm not on OnlyFans.
Right.
They gave it a bad name because the girls on OnlyFans are spreading everything for $15.
Yep.
You know, but
Yeah.
they think if you're behind a paywall that you're going to be sitting on a pretzel or something like that. You know what I mean? Like something weird or something deviant,
Yeah.
and you're not. You're just a pretty girl.
So let's-
and you.
Let's
Have
dive
good
into that a
fans.
little bit because I would love to dive into a little bit more of like some of the projects you got going on. Like how do you tackle them? Like just especially for listeners out there, like what's the approach that you think works best and like how can you capitalize on that? Using your platforms properly, how to put yourself out there properly without having to do maybe extra certain things you may not want to do. Like you mentioned, some of these girls having to go to that certain extent. What would you say works that you've seen work for you?
The one thing that worked for me, I'm very fortunate in that for 10 years, I built up a client base, like a real fan base that knew me from Golf Channel, that followed me all the way through Fox, that just wants to know me, into the new transition in my life. They actually want to know who I am, not just the broad that's on TV that's giving you the news. So I'm very fortunate to have a real fan base. For those who have like 5, 10, 15,000 followers, it's going to be a little bit harder to monetize that. You have to get your following up, but it's really loyal people, and it's a one-on-one personal connection because those are the repeat customers that are going to keep coming back. So like my chat every day is very important. I check in with them, and again, it's not sexual whatsoever. I'm very fortunate in that they're just people who want to get to know me better, honestly.
Right.
And if there is anything sexual that comes through, like they're blocked.
Yeah. And like you said, you've been putting yourself out there to a certain extent on TV, with social media, doing all that
They think
stuff.
they know me anyhow.
Right. But there is that other side of you, right? That more personal side. I mean, we have that with our social media too. It's like people, and you mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, like trying to put you in this box of like, okay, she's a TV host for the Golf Channel. No, she works for Fox. This is what she does, and that's all she is.
Right.
And it's like, no, there's a whole nother person when the camera turns off.
Well, that's like finally what I'm kind of getting my followers on Instagram. I've kind of transformed them over the past 2 years because in the beginning, it's like, are you a model or are you a broadcaster? And they were very upset about that. And I got very upset because I'm like, why do you have to be one or the other?
Yeah, that's
like
right.
you can be both of those things, but that's kind of quieted down a little bit. But in the beginning, they were very like fervent about it. They were like, are you a pretty girl without brains or are you a broadcaster? I'm like, all of it can happen.
Yeah. And hell, I mean,
100%.
Sports better than 99% of dudes that I know. You know what I mean? Like you would talk my friends around in circles.
Well,
and all they do is watch
opportunity
sports.
with Maxim the other day, which is perfect because it shows off, the beautiful side and the lingerie side, and then it allowed me to talk about my 5 predictions for the rest of the playoffs, the rest of the NFL season. So Darren, I sent it to Darren. I'm like, this is this is exactly what I'm looking for. Exactly.
The one thing I wanted to jump in on, 3+ months we've been working together, is she so selective about, what and who and partners and projects. It's so big on personal relationships. You have to get that vibe with whoever that we're dealing with. And not oversaturating herself, which is so key.
Mm-hmm.
Why things are just starting out for her. It's going to be like a rocket. Hands down, I've represented the most iconic woman in the world. Nobody has the brain that she has. You know, I give them all credit. They became culturally iconic sex symbols forever and ever. But what she has up here is very, very unique. She sees things through. There's times she'll turn things down. We'll talk about things. Other times she just gives me the ball to run with and say whatever you think. I think that, you know, surrounding yourself with the right team around you, but at the same time, you know, in everything because you leave your brand so quickly. I have to take things in baby steps, and that's what she does. It's very, very impressive.
Mm-hmm. And where do you think that comes from, Holly? Like from your childhood, from your upbringing? You know, because it is a huge differentiating factor, you know, in this online, you know, paywall realm where people are getting to connect with you more than just seeing you on a television station, right? So, and that having intellect and having the ability to connect with a bunch of people is going to be so important for you. So kind of where does that come from for you?
I guess it's just, it's not from where I grew up. My parents are like very normal people who met each other in high school and on a farm, basically, you know? So, I guess I'm a very intuitive person, and I just understand relationships more than anything else. I can be book smart if I wanted to be. I'd rather be street smart. And personal relationships always matter to me. I have like 4 people in my life that really matter and have mattered. Darren, my gay hairstylist, who's my best friend, my photographer, and that actually there's three. And my parents. You can't share your business, but they don't. There's no way they could understand day to day what I'm doing. They'd be like, "Oh my God!" They would like go to church and try to pray. Do something else with my life. So just the really personal relationships are what matter to me. And like what Darren said about surrounding yourself with smarter people than you, that's what I try to do. And I always try to ask questions. If you're afraid to ask questions, you're not going to get what you want them. Like if you see somebody who has a hair color or extensions that you really like, ask them. Don't be jealous of them. Don't hate on them. Be like, hey, where'd you get your hair done? I don't understand why people are so afraid to ask questions.
Yep.
Yeah. That's
right.
It's the ego that gets in the way of that. He asks so many questions. He has no ego. That's why he's the best in the world at what he does, and why he has the relationships more than anybody in the world for 20 plus years with the biggest icons in the world.
No, you said it best, and I think that's one of the biggest issues that people have. And it's funny because we've talked a lot, and I always say, guys, don't be scared to ask. Don't be scared to ask for help or ask for questions, because in this world, that's what you want to be doing in order to build more stronger relationships, and also to build yourself up as a person. And when you can ask the right questions and when you can ask for help, you're going to see that the help will come. I think too many people to wait on certain things when in reality you have to go get that shit yourself. You know, and by getting it is by asking for the help, by asking the questions. And when you become, what is it they say? You know, the person who raises their hand or asks the most questions in the room or in the classroom, you know, you usually see them, you know, become the most successful. It's because it's true. You know, if you're not asking questions, you're not going to be able to move forward. You know, and I think that goes to show, especially right here with this relationship and everybody who's had a certain level of success, you ask them, and it's just, I always ask questions. You hear some of these athletes when they came into the locker rooms when they were rookies, just like, what was one of the biggest pieces of advice you would give somebody coming in? Is to ask a lot of questions. Put yourself around the top leaders, the captains, the coaches. Ask questions. Ask for help. Ask questions. Ask for help. Even after the game's over, ask questions. Ask for help. And you hear it all the time. So I have a question for you guys. How was it that you guys got your relationship started? Was it because of that? Because somebody needed help? Ask the question. Ask for the help. How did that relationship start, and where did it start from?
He doesn't need me. His list of clients are so much, more well-known and more important and have been established. I have been with IMG for, a very long time, and kind of just, I had my contract at Fox, and I was kind of wondering that why, while I'm on national TV, why am I not getting all these brand deals and stuff like that? So nice guys, but didn't really further my brand, just kind of, I was getting the commission off of that big contract. And then when it was over, then it was kind of like, okay, well, it's time to rebrand. And I kind of sat for a year, and I was like, I need somebody to help me with this. And then COVID happened. I was in a relationship. He didn't really want me professionally to further myself at all. So then got out of that. And literally the next day, basically, I contacted one of the, what would you say Dan is? What Dan is like?
It's like I know his big thing was the unexpected brand company, public in America, but it's also social media.
just
Dolly.
expert. Yes.
Great guy.
Dan Fleischman.
Dan Fleischman.
He knows
Oh,
everyone,
Dan
every single,
Fleischman, yeah.
amazing. Starts businesses, knows everybody in town. Really nice guy. I trust him. And I said, who, as far as agents, do you like to deal with and do you trust? And he gave me about 3 names. And my dog's name is Prince. My little French bulldog's name is Prince, and so it stuck out to me on that list.
So we gotta thank the pup.
Yeah.
But whenever anything comes to me, like I allow it to come to me, like whatever it is. If I see that's the first name I see on the list, and it jumps out to me for a reason, and I contacted him, and I was like, "Hey, I know that you don't need me, you don't have time for this, I'm sure, but please just hear me out." And it was on Instagram, and he actually gave me a call and gave me a chance, and there's research looked further into me and saw that there was more than just boobs and butt and a toned stomach. So he gave me a chance, and really, like he said, is trying to work with my brain.
That's awesome.
No,
I think I took a lunch. We had lunch in Vegas. And literally the next 2-3 days, saying, and it's not just me, my whole team, everybody that worked with me, said, we don't sit back. We've been able to build this insane truck with mid-level, high-level startup companies that just come to us with unlimited resources sometimes, and it's just plugging each person into the pipeline. We're at the point right now where we can actually get a deal done for 2 or 4 of our clients, and it's all leveraging. Okay, you want Hulk Hogan, you want Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. We're also going to give you the outline, and not that I'm trying to compare the situation, but you have that type of leverage. The others are called iconic. I'm just handing them something to do me a favor. I'm handing them somebody in Holly Sonders that I know they're going to be like, wow, like, this is unbelievable. Actually, she's giving us notoriety. She's giving us Carmen Electra and Denise Rachel, her clients. They're both Carmen's 47, I think 48, and May. Too much credit because it was just a perfect situation after having Pamela Anderson, Jenny McCarthy, Anna Nicole Smith. Now I've finally got somebody with a brain and a brand that I can talk sports with and just laugh about everything together. Because we can get a little crazy. You gotta have the humor. You gotta make it fun. You have to. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's a grind sometimes. And you're dealing with a lot of draining people, even if not everybody thinks the same way that we think. So we always try to put humor in it. And it's been amazing. And my girls here, Julia and Matilda, that met her, they love her. I can't wait for all the boys back east to start finding out who she is and what she's about, because we're literally just getting started. It's been so easy for me. I can't even tell you, maybe there's been 3 companies that I've spoken to, probably 30 different places. They're like, not right now, or every single brand or opportunity come back to us with our new budgets in March, or we're interested in meeting with you now. And we've already done probably a half a dozen, pretty legitimate deals to be announced in the next 4 to 6 weeks.
Well, I gotta say that I think it's at least for us, it's truly humbling and exciting to see that we've been able to talk to you guys on an amazing come up and blow up for Holly and for you. I think it's just truly amazing to be able to experience that here. So
no, but it's incredible. You're talking about a really big pond that you're trying to get attention in, for your brand and for your business. And with so many people out there trying to either mimic what you're doing or follow along the same path, the fact that you found your niche and your community and what works for you, it's very difficult to be able to do that. Yeah. To foster a community like that.
I'll keep saying, it takes a big set of balls. It does. Even though I'm female, I don't have balls, but you have to have them, because there's going to be people who are like, what are you doing? Cover yourself up. Go back to the sidelines and make, $2,000 for a full weekend of work and in the snow and cover up and all that. And I'm like, there's an opportunity in the world right now to make a hell of a lot more money than that. Sitting at home and doing it your way and putting out the images that you want to put out, not you being rained on and looking like Chewbacca, people so making fun of you for the next 3 hours while the Eagles get blown out or whatever's going on. You can do it your way. And thank God that Darren said, 2020 was horrible for a lot of people, and we feel badly for them, but for us, we've been very blessed that it was probably the best year of my life, personally and professionally, and just waking up and figuring out where I'm going.
Couldn't agree even more for myself. Like that's, I'd say it all the time. Like this has been the most lucrative year for me in my life.
Same.
And realization, a lot of the abilities and strengths that I have that I didn't even know, you know, and I think it's just those people who accepted to take the challenge, like Darren said, or sit at home, eat shit, and just look at everybody else doing stuff and actually complain and judge, you know, because I think that's a lot of times what people, they jump to the judging
and
conclusion.
they go like this. They're sitting on a computer.
Because they want what you want.
Starting a
They want what
website
you
or
have.
doing something else with their time, or you know, day trading or something else. They're going like this on, you know, people's photos that they want to hate on anonymously. I will never.
Yeah, and don't listen to people that haven't arrived where you're trying to get to.
Yes.
You know, if you're the smartest person in any room or any Zoom chat, you're in the wrong Zoom chat.
Right.
Okay, because I still have it. I mean, the more success I have, even work colleagues and business associates, you know, I can tell because they see the energy of how everything's flying for me professionally. And I don't listen to anybody. I don't. I mean, you know, of course, magical big guys look at me advice for you know, things, but you know, at the end of the day, you got to feel it in here, and you got to feel it in here, and you have to go with whatever energy you're feeling.
Like your book, you were saying that
your direct family, as you know, your family members, best friends, childhood buddies, you know, they will give you the worst freaking advice in the world.
Oh, 100%.
You know, the worst. Because I never would have gotten to this spot if it wasn't for my mom and dad supporting me. Look, my mom wanted me to finish college. Stop selling your stupid baseball cards already. You know, get an education. You know, sold the company $1 million when I was 19 years old. The rest is history. You know, it's just, you have to just, whatever that, you know, authentic belief is, you just got to stick with it. I don't care how many times you lose. There's going to be a win eventually. And that win is going to be so big, they're going to look back and understand those losses where you were today.
So Darren and Holly, I got a question for you guys, because I know the biggest thing is we got to cancel that noise. And I think it's really hard for a lot of people to cancel the noise and the distractions around them that hold them back from actually succeeding in the things they want, whether it's their parents telling them, their friends, you know, co-workers, whatever that bullshit is, social media, listening to what people are commenting. What are some of the things that you guys do to make sure that you cancel out the bullshit from inhibiting on your success?
I used to respond to some of the people like on social media when I first started out, and then quickly realized like some of my friends were like, that just fuels them. Like slide left and block them. Don't even respond. I got in trouble on Instagram, and I learned the hard way a couple weeks ago, actually. I wrote back to someone and I called him a twat.
Yes.
And
so
you know what
good.
Instagram did? A bunch of people reported me. A bunch of little trolls reported me, and they basically shadow banned me for 14 days.
Was it Karen with the cat profile picture?
It wasn't even like me showing my ass. It was me calling someone a twat because they were making fun of like my last relationship or something, and I'm like, I'm not married to a twat. So it actually made me laugh when I saw it. Then I realized I was shadow banned, and I could see like my content interactions went down by like 50%. Now it's coming back off of it. But that impacted my website because that's my tool to sell stuff. So when the shadow ban you, it only goes out to a little bit of your followers, you know? So like 20,000 people instead of the usual 100,000 people on my stories were seeing my story. So then I saw that affected in my website. So now I'm like, Holly, just stop. Like, just stop even responding to this guy. You hurt yourself by doing that. So it's just a metaphor for everybody else. Like, why are you listening to anybody else who's in Des Moines, Iowa, sitting on their couch? Like, they don't know what's best for you. They don't even fucking know you at all, actually. So, and they don't want to see you succeed. The chances are they're not nearly on the same level as you. We have in our head that they're carrying a briefcase around, going to Wall Street in a suit. No, that's not what most of these people look like.
No. It was funny when this happened. I remember texting her because you guys already know about my spiritual journey. My emotional quarter is, I mean, it's very difficult to find somebody that is as stable as I am right now. Jay Shetty, dear friend of mine, we spoke a couple of weeks ago. I mean, for Jay Shetty to be on the phone with me for 45 minutes, where you're at this place. So, Bryce got up on his podcast in March. I'm super excited about it. But, you know, it took work, man. A lot of freaking soul searching, getting deep into why I was so reactive. Why did every little thing bother me? You talk about like emotional spending. The money would come in, and I would have to buy everybody give the money away. Like, no. I have to be validating myself first to understand that I'm good with who I am. You know, nobody's ever going to say Darren Prince is a scumbag. He got sober 12.5 years ago. So me coming out with that forced me to really look at myself internally deeply. I never have before. Clear up that crap, work through the 12 steps to get myself to a place where now I can give her guidance and say 2 words. Don't engage.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to engage. When you do it, you are going to be right at that spiritual beam for the rest of the freaking day. And then you got what's called an emotional hangover, and then it could also affect you financially. You just have to, find within you why you're so reactive, right? And work on it. It's not just on Instagram, whatever it might be. Somebody gives you opinions in life. Why is he getting so defensive? We all have to work on ourselves. I'm still a work in progress.
Somebody like cuts you off in traffic or something.
Yeah,
like
why is it kind of like
where you said that down here?
Like you almost get in an accident trying to get the finger in.
Yeah.
Like I've done that before when I was younger.
Yeah.
I would rather get in an accident just to make sure they saw me flip them off. Like, what are you doing?
That's a point. I mean, we all really, ultimately, if you wake up in the morning and you got a roof over your head and you're able to somehow manage to eat and communicate with a couple people you can trust, and you're healthy, most importantly. Luxury problems.
Yeah.
I've seen and get emails and messages from some of those horrific situations. Parents lost their children to overdoses. It's got the perspective and the perception that we have for life. And that's what's most important about the pandemic working on us. Because whatever you believe in, whether it's God, a higher power, whatever, I mean, there's no way you're going to fail when you start living a purposeful way of living. And being so reactive, and stop the resentment and the jealousy and the hate. If one of my boys, had a huge opportunity, it's been working with me for 20 years now, and called me up and said, "Hey, bro, I love you, but I think it's time to move on from Prince Martin," I would cry happy tears because I would know that I was indirectly responsible for giving them that pathway, take their life to the next level. I think a lot of people are like, "Oh, son of a bitch, I've done so much for this person." It's not me. I think that way.
Yeah.
You have an inner peace. Like I've heard older stories about like Darren Prince, like 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and it just does not vibe with the person that I know at all now. Like I hear the stories and everything before he got sober, but like he is just like, there's nothing that's really going to steal his peace. And if there is something that does, or someone that drains his energy, he's like, I can see him physically like needing to take a nap on the way home sometimes.
I know how to get myself back to that space. For me, I put it this way: people love it. Life needs to be like lasagna. Like lasagna, I am the best version of it.
So good. I love that.
That's good.
I love that.
That's good.
But a big part of that is the most difficult thing for a lot of people, and that's assessing the situation that, either they put themselves in or that they find themselves in, and then being able to come to a realization that something needs to change, and then actually taking the steps necessary to make that change, which is...
Well, you got to be honest with yourself, and that's something that's a huge problem.
Right.
Like, I can't be directly involved with people who just aren't honest with themselves. Like if you're lying to yourself about your status or your life or how you look or any of that, like you just know what you are and embrace that and just be you. That's all.
Yeah. Well, and it's super easy to see when you are someone who, is super honest and very open about the things that they're doing and what's going on in their life. And then you see someone who is being fake. It's like, I can smell you from a mile and a half away. I knew before you even came up to me to ask this stupid ass question that you're going to ask me so that I can give you something, because you know who I am, I knew you were going to do that before you came up and talked to me. Like, you're just being fake.
The thing with like narcissists and sociopaths is that they underestimate how smart everyone else is. That's the beautiful thing about it. So you can see from a mile away when someone's trying to manipulate you. But in their head, it looks normal to them. Well, it's not. Like I was married to a sociopath, so I got a full dose of what that was like. And as Darren said, you got to fail to, figure it out. I felt big time at a very young age, and that is the number one thing that helped me become who I am. So like you said, you got to take those L's and got to figure it out after that.
You got to take those punches to keep climbing up the ladder, and it's
That's
so
right.
true. It's so true, and I think like more and more people, again, going back to taking on the challenge, you got to absorb those punches, take those punches, learn from them, learn from those mistakes, and then apply. And I think a lot of people miss the step of application. I think a lot of people forget to apply what they learned, and that's why they keep getting punched. They keep getting punched. They keep getting punched, and then they go further until it's too late, and something really bad can happen, you know? And I think that if more people realize, like, hey, you got hit, apply. You got hit, apply. You got hit, apply. And you're going to realize you're going to start slowly moving up again, or you're going to start moving towards the direction you really want to go at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, it is about that. It's about learning from those mistakes so that we could just become a better version of yourself. And when you can do that, you become a better version for everybody else around you.
Well, who doesn't want to wake up and be excited about the day? I mean, figure out how you can wake up with joy. That's all it was. I mean, on television, I would dread going to work, you know, every NFL Sunday or Saturday. Like, I would wake up and be like, okay, all right, this is what's about to happen. It's going to be real noisy. It's going to be real cold. It's going to be real boring most of the time for me to stand down there. And, like,
I know that.
You got to make a change. Whether I was making a lot of money, too. And it's like, but you're miserable. It doesn't matter. Yeah. You wake up and dread what you're going to do that day. It's not fucking worth it. So.
I'll tell you a quick fix for people that are listening when this airs, that, you know, it's easy for them to probably say, oh, she's making a ton of money. He's got an incredible career. Right. You guys found the virtue. Service. They have service, even if you're struggling, you can't pay the phone bill, the rent, whatever it might be. I'm just telling you, I've seen it time and again. That, you know, we're not responsible for our thoughts, but we are responsible for how we want to think those thoughts. Yeah. And the easiest way to get out of your own head, reach out for one of your boys, your girls, family member, coworkers, somebody that you know is struggling. Because, again, it's about that energy. And when you're getting out of your own headspace and you're looking to help other people that have it even worse than you, the blessings come. It just happens.
Amen to that.
It just happens. Yeah. So, you know, because believe me, I had my own financial problems too in my late 20s. Other than that, you know, I was still abusing drugs hardcore, but eventually I turned things around. And, you know, stuff doesn't mean anything to me. Or, you know, money for me just having ability to take care of people. I can, you know, buy a big house today.
Look at us. So we have no jewelry on. We have no jewelry on. Yeah. We don't care. Like, I have no necklace.
She bought me a Rolex.
Yeah, I saw that. I was going to say.
I was about to ask what where is it?
Wearing it next time being allowed. She promised us 2 Ferraris by the end of the year.
Great.
But we just don't care. Like, we'll Uber in our purple Hyundai and it shows up.
Because my Uber selection has been very terrible and cheap. So if you want to make sure. But no, it's the truth. You know, I think when you find yourself, you realize, like, that stuff's important to a degree, but it doesn't ultimately make you happy. Yeah. It gives you independence. It gives you financial stability, and the, you know, to take gift about, you know, to other people and help them. But really, when you work on finding yourself during this tough time, and it all falls into place, you're also going to heal yourself emotionally. So when you bad, when the world opens, you're going to freaking fly every level. Every level.
Mm-hmm. No, it's true. It's, you know, everyone thinks money brings you happiness. The only thing money brings you is more opportunity, right? More opportunity for success, more opportunity for people to try to come and take it from you, whatever it may be, right? All it does is bring more opportunity. It's how you utilize those opportunities that are important, right? And your spot, like the wealthiest people that I think we know down here are probably some of the most miserable people I've ever met in my entire life.
That we've even coached ourselves.
And I grew up from a town of 1,800 people in bumblefuck upstate New York, and those are the happiest people I've ever met in my entire life. And I don't think half of them have ever made over 25 grand in a year.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's true. The opportunity thing is correct. Like, after I made $272,000 last month, I went and bought a watch for him because he's everything to me. He believes in me, sticks his neck out for me. That's the one thing I wanted to do for my best friend. Bought a watch for my best friend, a Cartier watch he's wanted for 10 years, and he couldn't afford, and paid my taxes. And I doubled down on my photographers, made sure I got the best ones, and I put it right back into my business. I haven't bought myself a bag. I haven't bought myself a bracelet or not. I don't care about any of that. I put it right back into my business. So yes, it makes it easier for your problems to go away and your stress level if you have money, but it doesn't make you happy.
Right. I kind of want to.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, when you would obviously rather have it than not have it, but you have to understand your motive once you start feeling. And is it coming from a place of, you know, brokenness, or are you going to do the right thing by it? be a blessing to other people as she does, talk about.
But save it. If you have it, save it. Put it into Bitcoin.
Yeah, big facts.
Boom.
That is not going to go down. Bitcoin
I gotta look into some of that Bitcoin. I gotta get some news updates on that, because that's not a world I know too much of, and I've been
you're blowing.
I don't know. I've been hearing a lot of people lately. I just literally I was in Cali this weekend, and I literally have met this guy in an event. He's like, bro, look at my Bitcoin stuff. He's like, start looking into Bitcoin, look into these cryptos, and he gave me a whole list of all these cryptos to invest in. He's like, here's I think it's called Coinbase. He's like, here's the app that you can download. And I was like, damn, dude. I was like, shit.
Bro, why do you think part of the reason I'm moving to Puerto Rico? No crypto tax.
Yep.
Correct. And we're just going to keep printing money that we don't have, and it's just going to go up and up. It was at 3,000, then 12, 17. Now I think it's at 33.
Yeah, I think it hit 40 the other day too, right?
Yeah. Oh my God.
I want to dive into your content for a little bit. How do you come up with such creative? I mean, you've honestly, like, I used to have such dull content, and I've been following you for a while now, definitely since you made the transition, and you come up with such creative ideas. Like, where does some of these come from? You know, are they from your audience? Are they from? Because I've been looking at them like, fuck, I gotta step my game. Like, I don't do what you do, but I'm like, I gotta step my game. I gotta like start trying to come up with like way better locations. You know, way better props.
It's actually, it is expensive. Again, if you're gonna get the best content, you're gonna, like, we pay for a different location every week, sometimes twice a week. We got to figure out what your followers want. What I figured out, they love sports-based stuff. Like the other day, I did my version of like the ESPN body issue, where I'm working out and I'm like, again, I will not show what I consider to be porn is if you show your vagina or your other holes. I will not do that. I will do topless because that's very Playboy. All of my photos are like Playboy. You open up any of the sets, I want it to just be like Playboy. You know, like when you're a young kid, you open up that magazine and you're like, wow, this is so beautiful, like Carmen or Pam. That's what it's like. It's not like porn. It's not with me with anybody else. It's not me doing anything crazy. It's me doing fun stuff. What I found out is they love like me dribbling a basketball and shooting in a bikini or something like that. Like,
your jumper's good too. Your jumper's real good.
They love the golf content. I need to do more of that. I just don't love playing golf, but like in a short skirt, they love it. Like Paige Spiranak has 3 million followers. I know you know who that is probably. Just because she's a good golfer and does it in a short skirt.
Right.
You know? Just figure out what your followers want. But the creativity comes, I have an amazing photographer who is a female, actually. So she knows how females want to be edited. She knows how females want to look, and that's when and you feel comfortable with her too. So, hi Rodney. This is Darren's partner in crime. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, we can see him in the background a little bit.
Hey Rodney, he loves women. He loves women too.
Yeah. Smart dog.
But I got good people around me who come up with like creative, fun stuff that isn't going to paint me in like the wrong light either. Like she would never make anything tawdry or anything. Like it's hot and it's smart.
So she sent me one at like 8 in the morning, like the craziest day a week ago. I guess seriously, Hall, I love you to death. You cannot be sent us at 8 in the morning. No more picture approvals until after 5 o'clock. I'm still up remember that.
Right, because
she's like, what do you think, babe? I'm like, jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, and I just said it because it is like a professional thing. Like I feel nothing sexual about it whatsoever. I feel no emotion attached to it. I'm like, this is the photo. And it's just, I don't even know what it was. What was it? Which one was it?
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody.
It really was like creative approval. And he's just like, Jesus. Okay, all right.
You like that good one, right? So for now, I think after 5 o'clock.
That's so funny.
But Instagram's also cracking down with their new rules. I don't know if you guys
I heard about that. Yeah.
Like you're not allowed to cover your breast with your hands. You're not allowed to touch yourself. You know, there's like a whole other set of rules now. Wow. And a lot of girls have gotten their accounts not even like no warning, just deleted. So I know a lot of girls who had 1 million followers.
That's
gone.
Crazy. So let me ask you, like, what's your take on that? Because I know you also mentioned about the whole thing you had that with the person commenting and they even banned you for a bit. And now this with the new rules, like, what are you going to be doing now? Because I know it's scary to even think like, damn, our whole audience in this platform controls our pay or most of it. How do we start moving that over? Is it more like, create your platform within your website now, create your platform within another source? Like, how do you diversify that so that way you don't take a hit if something did happen?
I think that there, whatever platform comes next that allows people to like monetize off of it is gonna be the biggest one of all time.
I've been hearing Clubhouse is taking off. I'm hearing a lot of good feedback about Clubhouse.
Clubhouse?
Yeah.
Like I know
I love
TikTok.
Clubhouse.
You love Clubhouse, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh,
what you're saying.
this one business made in 4 hours $21 million in 4 hours off Clubhouse,
Yeah.
getting people. Another one closed. Another coach I know, this
Dropping back
personal
your
coach,
social medias.
$500K in literally, I think in like 2-3 hours, $500,000 in sales.
Wow.
Yeah, you'll have
That's
to
your
get on
question.
Clubhouse and we'll
Yeah.
all do one together.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I'm gonna do that as soon as we're done here. Like,
Darren,
he
you gotta
obviously had
send
the
her. You
vision
gotta
for
send
that.
her an invite. You gotta send her an invite because
He already did. He already did, but I was like, okay.
And I think somebody else used it, so now I gotta get somebody else to invite her.
If, not, if you don't have invites,
Oh my
I have 3 invites. I'll send you an invite.
Thank you.
He won't let me down, but you're gonna hear about it for the next year and a half because I've been hearing about it for like a month.
I'll bug him about it.
Yeah.
I'll send him a bunch of love for that. But right now on Instagram, I have to play by the rules. Like I talked with my webmaster about it and my photographers, and they're like, now what we do is I'll get in my outfit and she says, okay, Instagram version. So now it's just like, hey, and you're the most covered, everything's covered, and it's not even risque. And then you're like, okay, all right, we got the Instagram stuff. Now she's like, okay, take that off. And so now it's like website stuff. And then it's the teaser, then it's this, and it's that. And so we just have our Instagram, we got to play by the rules. So it's basically just going to be like, not, a high school photo, but it's going to be, I got to play by the rules, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And it's, I want to kind of go back into the point you said about, how some people would think like, being topless is porn. My ex-wife, is Argentinian, very, very, very attractive woman. Same thing, like fake breasts, super nice, and she would love to
These
go
are
get.
real. What are you talking about? What are you assuming?
Are they really?
No, God, no.
Real expensive.
Yeah.
He's like, that's
I was
the
gonna
only
say-
real about it.
Well, the thing was with my ex-wife too is when I met her at the gym, I was like, man, like her boobs are perfect. Like if those are real, those are perfect. And then like obviously we started dating. I'm like, what an idiot I was to think that those are real.
You learn firsthand. Yeah. It's experience.
But all my friends used to be. She loved getting photos taken. She would take topless photos. My friends would be like, I can't believe you let her do that. I'm like, dude. We're at a pool party right now, and she's got like a floss bikini top on. You can basically see her nipple.
Yeah.
There's no difference.
There's zero difference. So we're the only country still that is like, you go over to France, everyone at every beach is topless. It's like, for whatever reason, America, people are breastfeeding in public. I don't understand how that's any different.
Right.
Men show their nipples all the time. Like, it's art.
It's like I say, dude, she's still going back home with you.
Yeah, exactly. That would be my thing. It's like
there's varying degrees of what you're gonna do behind that paywall, and if you're using a toy or something else, that's a whole different genre to me than you on your own posing topless like Playboy. I use Playboy as the template.
Well, the things that you're doing are so interactive, really, even like from a static image, like of you swinging a golf club or you shooting a bat, like that's things that also kind of reminds men or whoever is subscribing to your page is, things that maybe brought them back to their childhood, just a lot more fun for them now.
Yep.
Sure. Sure. Well, he always reminds me too. He's like, like you've had a string of like, whatever, fun pics or hot pics. Why don't we throw in like a business suit, or why don't we throw in a photo of you golfing or whatever, just to remind everybody what else you can do and that there's more to it than just a hot chick. So he's involved in that as well. But I'm very lucky that he is supportive of that and sees like a hot, smart chick role when a lot of other agents would not want to deal with it or not have the resources to deal with it. The people that he had before me and still has now like paved the way for me to be able to get the kind of deals, and that I'm very, very lucky. Very lucky. Like I always looked up to Carmen my entire life. Like that was my muse when it came to like beauty. I mean, Carmen's everything. And to have the same age as she, it's like I don't know who was looking after me up there, but like you pay enough dues and you go through enough and you're a nice person, and then someone like this, it finds you. Like he said, just whatever you're going through, keep doing the right thing. There's so many times I said, like, why do I do the right thing when I just get shit on and these people doing the wrong thing are collecting cash? And no, it will catch up. It always catches up.
That's right. Karma's a bitch.
That's right.
I believe it.
It's
so
true.
what are, if you don't mind me asking, I don't know if you can share, but
I don't mind you asking anything.
What are some of the projects you guys both are currently working on? Like some of these new projects maybe we haven't heard of yet. Like if you don't mind sharing, if you can.
Sure.
What are some of those
So we
projects?
can talk about we have something in the virtual restaurant space being announced in the next few weeks, which is amazing. Obviously playing off of who she is. she's about helping people, so she has an erectile dysfunction pill being announced.
Oh, so good.
Around
And you know what else it does? It increases your semen production amount by
167%.
167%.
I mean,
You know what, Vegas, it's going to be announced around Valentine's
listen, I'm
Day.
not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
'Cause
My clients use them. My clients use them, and I'll grab one if I need an extra little bit of help. They are the best. Best.
That is a market that is never going anywhere.
Yep.
No.
Like that, like funeral services and
dick
ED
pills.
pills and sexual performance is not going anywhere.
No, they're legit. They
this
work.
is all natural too.
Oh, great. Not like the ones I can get in the gas station.
What'd you say?
Not like the ones that John Jones got popped for.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But you see Cialis and Viagra ads. Like, to me, it's just the natural. Carmen has a project too being announced in that space. Like,
Great.
I know that she says a lot of agents would be like, oh no, you can't go near that. It's taboo. Watch it be the hottest product of the year, guaranteed.
1,000%.
Guaranteed.
Again, it's not going anywhere, and
Yeah.
it's something that people need. It's the number one drug, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
God,
and that's one of the things too is so many people when they look for who they're going to partner with or what project they don't really think about the need of people, right? And how that works into your own brand. They just think like, oh, I need to do like a one-off shoot of what I've already been doing. It's like, no, you can find something new that maybe doesn't correlate specifically with your brand, but mirrors it a little bit and give a little different look for the partnership.
Right, and also again, look at your audience. Like my audience is very strong male audience. Play to that. Like you don't want to promote a product that's not going to resonate with your audience, and then it's not going to be a success. So I saw so many of these influencers take like a CBD deal, and then 2 weeks later they're promoting a different CBD, or they take a Bang Energy, then 2 weeks later they're promoting another energy drink just because they were given $500 at the time to put it on their page. I don't do Bang Energy. I don't do Fashion Nova. I don't do the other stuff that people have thrown out there before for a couple grand a month. Like I resisted all of that because there's going to be something bigger, and that's what we're working on, and we're seeing it come through.
I'd love
I'd rather
how
be
you
a part of
said that.
something that's like really like the ground on up, like the CBD company. I Street CBD. They're based in Columbus, Ohio. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. I went there and visited with them. Went to the store and met the manager, the owner, everybody, and like I really value what they have going on in their products. And then
Product's amazing.
it's an amazing product, and then I buy into it. It's not somebody calling me on the phone, hey, this is so and so is promoting this, why don't you do it too for $1,000? No, I'm going to turn it down. Like I would go there myself. He and I will take a trip there. We've been to Tampa, Florida. We've been traveling. We want to meet everybody.
Kevin Harrington.
Right.
Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank.
Awesome.
When you guys stop in Miami, just
projects with him.
What's that?
when you guys stop in Miami, just say hello.
We were there. That's where the ED
Next time we're
pillars.
there.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Well, that makes a lot of sense. Miami, ED, I could
Well,
see.
the guy who's doing it is a very sharp, young man, like younger than I am.
Incredibly talented.
Really, really smart, and knows, how to.
He just knows that space in general
Yes.
of new innovative products and how to maximize it.
Work the younger crowd, because it's not just guys over 50 that are taking Cialis and Viagra.
I'll
It's
tell you
a
that
lot
right
of
now, it's
young
not.
people I know.
No.
My
No,
friends,
it's not.
my friends call me all the time. Hey man, can you send me some? I'm like, I'm not mailing
Right.
you it to New York from Miami. Like, figure it out, bud.
Yeah,
Like,
you think like you're sending drugs or something. No, it's like it's an ED pill.
Yeah.
Crap,
No,
Send it.
it enhances your life. There's nothing wrong with it. Sex is what makes the world go
well,
round.
selfishly, I just want to make sure that I have them for when I need them. I don't want to give them to my friend.
Right. But like, I don't know why people are ashamed about it.
If you
No,
only have
no,
two
it's-
left, you can't give them one. Then I understand. But if you have like 4 or 5, throw them one.
Yeah.
We'll send you what we've got.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Yeah, well,
especially because you're in Miami.
I'll taste
There we
test
go.
it. Yeah, that'd be
Love
great.
it.
Yeah,
That'd be
Darren
great.
was like, I'm like a super agent. I need to test it out. I'll test out your product for you guys,
Yes,
and I'll
great.
let
So
you know
good.
how it goes.
So good.
167%. Okay.
Like that's a huge spike. I'm gonna be 51.
Yeah.
Really substantial.
Yeah, I think Miami's a perfect place to test
Right?
that out.
We'll come by. We'll do.
Yeah,
we'll,
please,
We'll
that'd
give
be
you a
great.
week supply. You
Yes,
guys
please.
know.
That'd be great.
Please, and we'll have you in here
Okay,
live
good.
as well.
And I'm
Yeah.
gonna call your girlfriends or people you're hooking
Apologize to them.
I was like, I'm so
up with for the report
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the semen production.
So how
Like,
was it?
hey,
How did it go?
One of you's gonna be apologizing.
This is-
This girl,
Yeah.
This is a case study. Hello, like, take a photo if you can of
Yeah.
just the.
Can we get? Can you measure it? Can you?
Right, right.
hopeful at the end. We're like, oh, his poor girlfriend. It was 106.
7%. Here's maths.
Oh, so
We did our
good.
job.
Yeah, so good. Yeah, well, we would love to be guinea pigs, but we're almost at an hour, and we know you guys are both very busy. We
Wow,
don't.
that flew by.
I know, it's crazy. We don't want to take up too much of your time, and personally, I just want to
I'm
say,
busy your next trip to Miami.
yeah,
we'll see you in
please,
Miami.
yeah, anytime you're more than welcome. We'll show you guys. I mean, not that you guys have probably not been here 1,000 times before, but
No, we'd love to do it your way, especially the COVID way and everything now. Last time we were there, we were at Fontainebleau, and there were like 60 people in a hot tub. So I
Oh
don't know
my
how
God,
much
rough.
COVID
Yeah,
friendly,
no,
but
we'll go to the less touristy spots,
There we
for
go.
sure.
Great.
So
We got you.
Perfect.
I'll put us
Cool.
all. I'll put us all in a group chat as well on Instagram.
yeah.
Oh,
sure.
that will be
Awesome.
that'll
She needs your invite now for Clubhouse. So
great.
Yes,
And make
I
sure
got
that
you.
add that to your bio after
Yeah.
that you're the but it lives on her page forever.
Yeah.
That's right.
You up out of the page.
Yeah.
She's been invited.
And why don't we do like the chat on our phones? Because
Yeah,
if
let's
this
do
chat,
that.
I'm sure it's gonna be lit. So
Yeah, all right.
we
So
cannot
yeah, we
have
shouldn't
private
let
Snapchat
Zuckerberg
going
watch
up
what we're
and
Right.
watch
Now
what
we'll
we're
all
doing.
get banned.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
that'd be great.
Oh man.
You know,
Send
but
you over the number then. I'll DM you the number, my phone number.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
yeah, awesome. But I really want to say thank you both for coming on. Darren, obviously your
Thank you.
second time coming on. You're amazing. Holly, so happy to hear that you're absolutely murdering it in the game
Thank you.
right now, and doing what you want to do, because so often so many people are, as you said, they don't have the balls to be able to do that. So
That's it.
kudos to you for making that jump and finding so much success in it, because that's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you both. Thank you both for being like positive influences on everybody.
A great light.
Yes.
for
Thank you,
people
guys.
right now.
Exactly
Here
right.
for all of us.
Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
that. And 100% again, like what Josh is saying, like, it's amazing to see your success, both of you guys, and seeing what you guys have been able, what you guys are doing together to be able to build something amazing out of this, and getting the opportunity to be able to work together. And I think it's just amazing, for a lot of people out there who can feel inspired by both of your stories, to be able to just say, you know what, I'm done with whatever it is I'm dealing with, and I'm going to move forward, take that challenge, have the balls, and be able to go through and get what I want in life. And I think that's beautiful on both of your guys' part, and it's really exciting to see what's going to come into fruition with both of you working together. So really excited about that.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So
Keep kicking butt.
Yep.
thank you.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Like I always end it, I always like to do a little speed round questionnaire. So you guys can both shoot at it when I shoot the
Okay.
question. All right. Question number 1. Pretty simple. What's the number 1 goal that you guys want to achieve together as a team?
Ferraris by the end of 2021. I promise them the matching Ferraris.
That's the best goal you could have, I think.
What color?
I just want to hear any dad and say, "Holy shit, Prince did it again."
Yeah. It's great.
There you
Love
go.
it. Love it.
That's
Question number 2. What's the biggest advice you can give on to anybody on social media right now to start doing and moving forward with?
Block anybody when you see any hint of negativity. Immediately side left, block. Just get it out of your mental space.
It's huge.
Love it.
I'm with that too. You don't need that. You don't need
Any hint of it. Anybody who even is snarky at all, or
Next.
just meddling around your page, gone. Don't need it.
Love it.
Same with people in your personal life. It's hard to do when it's family, but it's necessary for your
Sometimes.
own peace.
Mhm.
You said it best. Question number 3. What's the craziest and wildest experience you guys have ever had in your career?
Oh God!
Talk about it on.
You go first. I don't know. You go first.
I'll keep it professional. Sending Dennis Rodman to North Korea and being part of that whole experience, all 6 trips with my boy Bobola. So,
Yeah, wild.
Oh my God! I can't even share mine. So it's not good for anyone.
Yeah. Some people are gonna get canceled.
and then I'll
Right.
share my craziest personal.
Right.
So
Yes,
Great. Yeah, we'll keep that in the group chat.
That's it, right?
that's normal. That's normal. Every day.
Oh man. All right, we'll skip to the last one. No sweating here. What's the biggest piece of advice that both of you can leave off to all our listeners today in one sentence?
Grow a pair of balls and do what makes you happy. That's it.
Great.
Yeah, be your real self and just go after it. Don't listen to others.
So
Don't pretend. Don't pretend, because everybody's going to figure out who you are. So just let them know up front instead of 6 months from now.
Forget the imposter syndrome. Too many people have it in today's world.
Everybody figures it out.
It's huge. It's huge. Well, one last time, thank you guys both for coming on the podcast. Really means a lot to us. Make sure you guys go check out Holly's website, hollysonders.com.
Just my name.com.
Perfect.
Yep. And bring your credit card.
Yes.
There you go. Can't forget
Or
that.
your debit card or your Amex, whatever it is.
We got 2 Ferraris for looking to buy. Yeah, she even offered to upgrade the Rolex. Not that I need another one.
Yeah.
But
During the pandemic, we need a boost. So
but spend within your means when you're on the website. She doesn't want people.
I don't.
It's
Yes.
great entertainment.
There was a man the other day that said, I would much rather see you nude than pay child support. And I wrote him back and I said, you pay that child? And I sent him a freebie and said,
Oh, that's great. That's
just
great.
something, you pay that child support, man.
Yeah.
Here's just whatever it was. Me
That's
working
awesome.
out.
I'm sure those kids are about as happy as the dad is too to get that money. So,
Great. Thank you, Holly.
Thank you, guys.
Watching live.
Yeah,
See you
all
guys.
right.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you
you.
so much. See you
Much
guys.
love,
Bye.
guys.